And I've got to say, when we see patients taking Fortify Focus, I am seeing patients that have reduced subjective symptomology for many conditions, but mostly associated with the computers. I mean, let's face it, we're all living in a digital world these days, and we're all having an accommodative stress factor that's much higher than it was when I grew up. What I'm seeing in clinical practice, when patients take Fortify Focus, not only do they seem to have less dry eye symptomology, but they definitely have less eye fatigue. Neck hurts, vision fluctuates, eyes feel sandy, gritty, burn, tear, itch. A lot of these symptoms decrease dramatically and some resolve completely. Hey, I'm Dr. Michael Lange. We want to age as gracefully as possible, don't we? So is there enough evidence out there that proves that certain specific nutrients, ingredients, or supplements can enhance our skin, our joints, our hair, our nails? And there's a lot of great science that's come out recently with marine collagen tripeptides, rice ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and there's a new supplement called Dermaval. Well, we've taken all four of those and we've combined it in a supplement called Rejuvenate. 3 delicious flavors, chocolate, cherry vanilla, pink lemonade, and then we have it unflavored for those of you that want to just put it in your coffee in the morning. It's worth a try. I endorse it, obviously, 100%. If you don't like it, we'll give you money back. It's as simple as that. So check it out at Fortifeye.com. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, board-certified optometric physician, certified nutritional specialist, and the founder of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. I, along with the Fortifeye Performance team, developed something called Fortifeye Fit Pro. They can improve muscle synthesis, strength, and endurance. All three, a triple whammy, right? I gotta tell you, folks, it works. It is evidence-based on the latest clinical science, the latest studies. We've used the exact ratios that were in all the studies in the Fortifeye Fit Pro. So I highly recommend, and I endorse it 100%, Fortifeye Fit Pro. Give it a try, see what you think. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. It's as simple as that.
Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
Okay, good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host since April of 1993. I'm Dr. Michael Lange. I'm a board-certified optometric physician, a certified nutritional specialist, and the founder of Lange Eye Care and Associates, the Lange Eye Institute, and Fortifeye Vitamins. If you've got a question regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic, remember, this is a live call-in show dedicated to you, the viewer, the listener, the consumer, the patient. And the phone number is 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. My co-host for many, many, many moons now is Dr. Susan Summerton, who is also an optometric physician, also certified nutritional specialist, but also fellowship trained in many arenas in the nutritional realm. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Susan Summerton to the show. Good morning, Dr. Summerton.
Good morning, Dr. Lange, and good morning to all our listeners and callers out there. We look forward to another great show talking about the aging eye and body, and we're going to have different topics on healthy aging and our macula and how protein is so important to get at breakfast and strength training and creatine, all great topics today. Plus, we're here to help you with any questions that you have.
Absolutely. And remember, if you'd like to see myself or Dr. Susan Summerton, Dr. Lori Caputi, and Dr. Christine Gillikin at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, that's where we hail from. And remember, soon the Lange Eye Institute in Ocala in 2027. You can call, I'll give you this number twice to the Lange Eye Institute. It's 352-753-4014. That's 352-753-4014. You can learn more at drmichaellang.com. Just put DR, drmichaellang.com, and that'll link you to a lot of our social media and other websites and things of that nature, and also link you to the YouTube channel so you can see any of these videos, at your leisure whenever you'd like to watch if you're bored. Once again, phone lines, if you'd like to call and ask us a question, 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. And last week, we were not live in the studio. You had to listen to a best of, and I apologize for that. But every now and then, we got to get out and, promote our businesses. So I want to do a shout out to the Florida Chiropractic Association. We were one of their sponsors and Fortifeye Vitamins. So myself, Mackenzie, that's my daughter, and Taylor Moncado were in Orlando from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I got to tell you, these chiropractors, they understand nutrition. They really do. It was an amazing event. We talked nutrition to doctors from all over the country. It was their national convention. And just a shout out to all the chiropractors and their staff and everybody, all the professionals there. It was an amazing convention. And then we also, at the same time, were sponsoring the Fit Fest here in Tampa at the fairgrounds. So that was Tasha and Shay. And I went over there Saturday afternoon, and Mackenzie was there as well. So we met a lot of people at the Fit Fest that were in tune with fitness, and it was a great time. And I got to tell you, the biggest hits was our new Fortifeye Fit Bites. Fortifeye Fit Bites were huge. Of course, we're giving out free samples. Fortifeye Fit Pro was huge. Fortifeye Fit Meal was huge. And with the chiropractors, also the anti-inflammatory components, the Super Omega, the Next Gen Curcumin, and the Rejuvenate. So, I think, Dr. Summerton, more and more athletes as well as doctors are becoming much more in tune with super clean supplements and supplements that are fully transparent, supplements that they're not hiding behind a proprietary blend where they don't tell you what's in it. And that's kind of the direction Fortifeye has taken. I think our listeners, our viewers, our patients, the doctors, athletes are becoming more and more educated now, don't you think?
It is. And when we talk about supplements and we recommend supplements in our office, a lot of it, some people will take as a push to buy supplements, but we really sell the supplements so that we can ensure we've done the work for you. We've done the research to make sure that you are getting top quality, non-contaminated supplements because it's very confusing when you go to the store. There's so many choices and you just don't know which one to buy. And so we've taken that upon ourselves because we enjoy it. That's what we like to do. And we want to help you. And when we recommend supplements, we want to get results. And it's the quality does matter extremely and the dosage. And so we want to recommend that you're getting enough to have a therapeutic effect and you're not going to put any toxins in your system or you're using cheaper quality that don't absorb in your system. And so it's a lot of work to figure it out, but we enjoy doing it and we enjoy spreading the message to you.
Absolutely. And with the advent of these tariffs out there on all the countries, supplement sales have actually, well, the supplements have gone up in price. Sales really haven't dropped, but everybody is raising their prices because the prices to the manufacturer and the consumer is going up because of these tariffs. Some tariffs are ridiculously high. So we have not raised our prices at Fortifeye Vitamins. We're still keeping the prices. We're holding fast. And I got to tell you, whey protein is almost very difficult to get. Even creatine is very difficult to get now. So we've got enough now in our warehouse. We foresaw the future and bought enough. So we're not raising our prices. As a matter of fact, we're giving you guys and gals a better deal. I urge you to go to the bundle section at fortifeye.com. So our website at fortifeye.com, go to the bundle section. We actually have too many bundles right now. We're probably going to cut some of the bundles back, but you can buy 3 and even 4. We have a new Fortifeye Focus bundle where you get 4 at a good discount. The black currant seed oil GLA, you get 4 at a really good discount. But one of the biggest ones is our superfood. The superfood was also a big hit. There's a lot of superfoods out there that are proprietary blends. They're marketing the heck out of them. They're not certified organic, and they're not guaranteed it's not coming from China. And some of these are selling for $99 a jug. And I'm not going to mention the name of the number one out there. They're really promoting the heck out of it. So our superfood is organic, Fortify Organic Blue Green Superfood. We've done the science. We put nutrients in it that work synergistically together, therapeutic levels. We got the clinical studies all posted on the website for the ingredients. And we're giving you a bundle right now. It's the Superfood Bundle where you get 3 of them. I mean, the price is down just a little above $20 a jug. So you can't, this one that's super, everybody's advertising and promoting, you can buy 3 of ours right now for less than the price of one of theirs. So every price is going up. We are allowing you a big savings right now because I know things are going to change and we're going to retain customers because of that. 6 months from now, a year from now, the prices are going to come back down. So check it out at fortifeye.com. Go to the bundle section at the top. And if you're going to shop and you're going to get at least 3, you're going to save a boatload of money. So, and you also get free shipping on top of that. So that's even a better deal than we have on Amazon. So we could get our products on Amazon, not all of them, but if you go directly to our website, fortifeye.com, you're going to get a better deal if you go to the bundle section. I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins, 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746, or go to the website, fortifeye.com, Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. I see somebody from WRNO is chiming in New Orleans. Dr. Lang, Brad Smith, old classmate of yours at Sam Barth, coming in loud and clear in Metairie on WRNO. Wow, Brad Smith, I remember you. Hey, thanks for the call. WRNO used to be We're the Rock of New Orleans, but now it's a mega talk radio station in New Orleans. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Dr. Summerton and myself are here to answer those questions. It's a free consultation. Remember, it never replaces a comprehensive medical evaluation or an eye exam. Call us at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. So when you wake up in the morning, you fasted all night. That's your fast. You don't have to do all these crazy fasts. And we have to replenish our food, our nutrients with protein, okay? When I quiz my patients, I ask them, what did they have for breakfast? Most of them say, well, didn't have breakfast. Or I had a cup of coffee and a piece of toast. I had a bagel. I had some oatmeal. I had some cereal that was, red, white, and blue with a lot of sugar on it. But people are not getting protein for breakfast. And Dr. Summerton, there's a new study that came out that said that a high protein breakfast is extremely important, especially for all these people that are wanting to lose weight. Isn't that
It
true?
is. I know. And they did this study basically kind of wondering why you're searching that pantry at 9 o'clock at night. You've got those cravings. Well, what can they do to help you with that? And they looked back and found that most of those never got a good kind of solid nutrition start to the day. And breakfast is break the fast that came originally because that's what people knew. They knew they had to put energy in the body to get themselves throughout the day. And when you put that protein rich breakfast in your body, that helps reduce those cravings later on at night. Like it's not just the one thing you need to do. We understand those cravings. That's why we came out with Fit Bite, because you might need a little extra. But starting the day off with about 25 to 30 grams of protein, depending on how much you weigh, The more you weigh, the more protein you need to get. But something like eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and for like people like me, they're on the go, you don't have a lot of time in the morning to sit and cook the breakfast. I love a nice whey protein shake to get me going. And that's really useful when I don't have a lot of time or a big appetite in the morning. It just gets you off to that great start. And then you'll notice you don't have as much food cravings later on during the day.
Absolutely. Consuming protein is very important. And I mix it up. I have kind of a rule not to eat the same breakfast frequently because I did that with shrimp. I used to eat shrimp every day growing up in New Orleans. I mean, shrimp for breakfast, lunch, and supper. And I developed a severe hypersensitivity reaction. And now I'm highly allergic to shrimp. I die if I eat any shrimp. So I don't want that to happen with breakfast foods. As a matter of fact, this morning I had the new Fortifeye Super Protein and vanilla. By the way, the new vanilla flavor in the Fortifeye Super Protein is delicious. It's grass fed, non denatured. That means we're not destroying it with heat and acid. It's an amazing vanilla flavor. It tastes like a frosty. And I had a banana and a pineapple in it, and I had it with some coconut milk. So a cup and a half of coconut milk, a scoop of the super protein, I don't know, about 3 slices of pineapple, and a half a banana, and I gave the other half a banana to my mom, and she had an egg omelet. So that was quick, didn't take me long, super high protein. The bromelain is the enzymes from the pineapple that breaks down the protein. And then the potassium in the banana is very good for dry eye and for people that have heart arrhythmias. So that's a great breakfast, lunch, or supper, or just a meal in between, especially if you're working out a lot. Think about the Fortify Super Protein or the Fortify Grass Fed Protein, and use some berries or fruits with it. Just two. Don't overdo it because you don't want to get too much sugar. And remember, you never combine banana, pear, apple, avocado with berries. So if you're making a berry smoothie, you can put blueberries and strawberries, but don't put blueberries and banana because the polyphenol oxidase in those fruits block the flavonoids in the berries. The things people learn from Ask the Doctor with Dr. Summerton and Dr. Lang. We're not just talking eye care, do we, Dr. Summerton?
I know, and those are some just useful little tips that you can add into your diet every day. And I like how you mentioned you put that pineapple in there. That a lot of, especially as women, when we're trying to lose weight, we're like, oh, we can't eat any carbohydrate. Well, we have to look at protein given as the building blocks, but carbohydrates provide the energy that we need if we know we have to do that resistance training. We know we want to go on a long walk. We still need those healthy carbohydrates, like you mentioned, adding the pineapple into that shake. And we're not talking about processed carbohydrates. Anytime we recommend carbohydrates, it's those high quality, your fruits, your vegetables, your beans, lentils, potatoes, those into your diet. We don't want to restrict them completely, but you have to remember total energy intake matches what you're doing as far as activity. So you want to kind of make sure you are doing exercise as well as eating healthy.
Absolutely. And we always say, do you want to thrive or just survive? And so carbohydrates are good. Remember, after you work out, after you play 18 holes of golf or tennis or pickleball, go on a bike ride, you need to have protein and carbs. Carbs replenish glycogen so that you rebound and you can do the same thing the next day. If you don't have carbohydrates, you're not going to thrive. Now, your body goes into glucogenesis and starts to break down muscle, believe it or not, and protein so that you can survive. But like I said, do you want to thrive or survive? All right, we're going to go to the first caller of the morning. We got a few people loading up. We're going to go to David in Clearwater. David, good morning.
Hey, hi, Dr. Lang and Dr. Summerton. How you doing?
Fantastic. How are
Good
you?
morning.
Morning. Thank you. Hey, I'm slow waking up this morning. I always look forward to listening to your show. Dr. Lang and Dr. Summerton, I don't know how I recently got into this, but about this, basically, I think from your show or from various other sources, I started to say, hey, this beet powder is a nice thing to add to my shake. Can help, improve. I said it can help improve blood flow, which I think is a positive. And then I kind of delved a little deeper into it, and I kind of learned about this. The nitric oxide is really like the result of the generation is in our bodies is the result of taking a powder of this manner, and and then of course I dug further, and then I discovered that the brand of powder that I was getting has a very modest amount of
Right.
nitrates in it, very extremely modest. So I said, "Whoa, wow!" So then I did a little more research. Be careful when I start doing this, and then I kind of looked into this L-citrulline as that I could take that would react with my protein powder in my shake to potentially produce nitric oxide
Right.
in my body. So I just wanted to, um, for your opinions about this kind of aspect of boosting my nitric oxide. Part of my history, doctors, are I'm a I'm I'm a what's the right word? I had cabbage. I had a cabbage 23 years ago to do that at 45, and I have always been, like trying to think of ways to continue with nice blood flow, endothelial health. I take fish oil a lot, and I really want to keep the arteries moving and blood flow pumping along. So just appreciate any insight you might have in this new sort of fangled way that I want to sort of look at this nitric oxide.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm going to chime in first. I love L-citrulline. L-citrulline is the one my favorite at about 3,000 milligrams. Okay, and that's why we use L-citrulline in our Fortifeye Fit Pro. Okay, so
Mhm.
L-citrulline is basically a vasodilator. That's what dietary nitrates do. So it opens up the blood vessels and allows blood flow. All right, to every part of your body, including your retina and your brain, other parts of your body, allowing the protein and the creatine, the essential amino acids, the branch chain amino acids, all the other stuff to flow to these areas a little bit better. Also, people that have, vascular problems, high blood pressure, and things like that, it can be beneficial. And
Mhm.
L-citrulline converts better than L-arginine does for this process. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, Now, the problem with beets and beet powder, all right, one thing is the beet powder, you never know what you're getting for sure. You don't know how much standardized, you don't know what you're getting. But the problem I have is all you're going to have, David, is one kidney stone, and you're probably never going to touch three foods again: beets, spinach, and almonds. Okay. And so I
Mhm.
had one kidney stone. And you got to remember, I used to race motocross, had a lot of bad accidents. I broke my neck, my back, and my right leg in 5 places racing motocross. And the bone came out in 2 places. That was painful. Or it was very painful. But this silly little kidney stone was more pain than that.
Oh,
So
God.
oxalates are a problem, and oxalates are very high in beets. Now you can eat some
Mhm.
calcium, high, milk or cheese or something that has calcium, and supposedly that'll bind to it and reduce the chances. So I don't do a lot of beets for that reason. So I do like L-citrulline. Watermelon is great. Watermelon is great post recovery, because it's high in electrolytes, it's high in water. Put a little salt on it, then you got all the electrolytes and the sodium, and it's super high in L-citrulline. So L-citrulline is a good thing. Vasodilation is a good thing. Now, never brush your teeth or use especially mouthwash before you're going to eat any of these foods because it
Mhm.
decreases the good microbes in your mouth, the
Mhm.
enzymatic activity that breaks down and causes these conversions for vasodilation. They've done studies where if you use mouthwash too frequently, you can actually develop high blood pressure because of mouthwash. So that's a little, tidbit of information to help. I'm going to let Dr. Summerton chime in a little bit about the dietary nitrates.
Yeah, and I agree all that you said. And I think beet powder every once in a while is good, but like you said, doing the same thing over and over again, it can cause issues. So it's nice to have that variety. But basics, it's the
Mhm.
nitrates in that beet powder that turn into the nitric oxide. And for callers who don't know, the nitric oxide is what widens your blood vessels and helps muscles get more oxygen during the workouts. With it widening the blood vessels, regular use can help drop the blood pressure a little bit. We're not saying it's a treatment for blood pressure, but it's just what happens with the nitric oxide there. So there's definitely benefits to taking it, but like you said, we have to watch out for those high in oxalates. But you can get nitrate rich vegetables like arugula, spinach is another one he mentioned, like celery is good, even lettuce and garlic. Those all help it too. So incorporating those vegetables will also increase it. And like you said before, just eating that watermelon that has that L-citrulline in it naturally, that can raise those nitric oxides naturally, rather than
Mm.
taking it. You can either take arginine directly or you can eat the watermelon.
And remember, the
Ah,
watermelon also has the sugar, so it's replacing muscle glycogen. So watermelon is like a perfect post-recovery. Believe it or not, chocolate milk and watermelon is not bad if it's like an A2 chocolate milk. Now, the ultimate would be take like a Fortifeye Fit Pro, add a whey protein isolate to it because it already has everything in it. But if you don't want to take a powder, then you could do chocolate milk and watermelon, blend it together for 3 seconds, and drink it down right after you're out about doing any type of exercise, and it works pretty good.
wow, cool. Doctors, how much watermelon would you have to eat, excuse me, for some type of little bit of a boost? Like just one slice or like half a watermelon?
Three
I just didn't know.
watermelons. That's easy, right? Three whole watermelons.
Yeah, I'm ready. Turn me loose. I'm gonna pour a bottle of vodka in there too. I think.
No, I would take probably about 3/4 of a watermelon. I mean, it's pretty easy to eat that.
Yeah, so like a decent amount of watermelon to get
Yep.
the boost. Yeah.
And put
Yeah,
a little
I
salt
would
on it,
think about
a little
two to
peanut
three
Himalayan
cups.
sea salt. And it also depends on your weight. Obviously, 80 pounds, you don't need that much. But, I'm 200 pounds of solid muscle. So I
Nice.
eat a lot more watermelon.
Congratulations. Wow, Dr. Summerton and Dr. Lang. You're such a fun crew to wake up to. It's so nice to listen to you. Thank you so much.
All right, David, you have a good one. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. In just a few minutes, we're going to talk about creatine, how it's good for not only the muscles, but the brain, but bone density, and how women should probably benefit from it. We're going to expand on that, and we're going to expand on a new generation creatine that we're going to talk about as well. But let's go to the phones. Our good friend Steve in Clearwater. Steve, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Well, you know how they discovered. I'm getting an echo here. Are you hearing that?
Nope.
Okay, I'll try to overcome it. The way they discovered this nitrate thing is there was a man who had real bad angina, and he noticed that he only got angina on the weekends, and they couldn't figure out why would he just get angina on the weekends. Well, he worked in a fertilizer plant. And he, once in a while, inhaled a little bit of nitrate fertilizer dust. And so that was a vasodilator. So when he was at work, he didn't get the angina, but when he was home on the weekends, he did.
Wow.
And that's one way they discovered that. Another thing is, being you were talking about beets, don't confuse nitric oxide with nitrous oxide, which a lot of people do. And nitrates are what make grass very green after a thunderstorm. They're nitrates. Now, why hasn't anybody created a nitrate supplement? Just like you have a calcium supplement or you have it, why couldn't you have a sodium nitrate supplement?
Well, there are supplements out there that are putting things in it that can convert dietary nitrates. That things like L-arginine, L-citrulline, citrulline malate. So there are some things on the market already like that.
Right. One thing I would suggest you try to do sometime, you were talking about quality of your products. And what I think it would be interesting for you to do is someday come on the radio and have one of the bottles of the famous one-a-day vitamins, either one-a-day or Centrum or any of these common one-a-day vitamins.
Right.
And compare it ingredient by ingredient with yours and say why your is better. Why does it have a better form of this? Why does it have a better form of this nutrient? And go line by line with your supplement, your multiple vitamin, with those common multiple vitamins and compare them. I think it'd be a great head-to-head competition as to quality.
It would be, but I don't know if it's just my ethics. I don't like to really talk about other people's products in a bad way. I like to highlight our products, so that's why I don't mention the brand names. And also due to legal ramifications, I don't want to be sued either. But I like to just hone in on the positive aspects of Fortifeye. When you compare our Fortifeye Complete Advanced Nutrition Multivitamin I Vitamin to some of the ones you mentioned, there is no comparison. There really isn't. We have a very high ORAC value where they do not. Ours are made from sourced from the best places on the planet with therapeutic levels, and we're fully transparent. We don't have a proprietary blend. We tell you what's in ours. We're proud of that. But I like to just hone in on the positive aspects of Fortifeye and not announce the negative benefits of other products. I just don't like to do that. That's just my personal ethics.
Well,
one day God's going to let me through the pearly gates because I was a good person.
You say you don't like to talk about the negative things, but something from China comes up, they get clobbered.
They do. But I don't mention any brand names now, do I?
Okay, I'll let you go.
All right, Steve. Have a good one. All right, you're listening to Ask the Doctors. This is Dr. Michael Lange and Dr. Susan Summerton. If you got a question, give us a call at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. My mom and dad taught me that if you can't say anything good about something, don't say anything at all. So I just don't. That's my personal philosophy. I mean, what do you think? Am I wrong, Dr. Summerton?
No, I completely agree because we're here to promote what works and what's positive. We're not really here to down other stuff. There's many good products on the market, but there's also many bad products on the market, and we can't keep track of the thousands or hundreds of thousands there are. So we have to focus on the good and quality and what we know works.
Right. And it's all about educating the public. So when we talk about omega-3, we always say look and make sure the levels are between 1,600 and 2,400 milligrams of EPA and DHA or even DPA, and make sure it is a reesterified triglyceride form, that's RTG form, or TG form. And if you look for that on the labels, then you can't go wrong. And then the lion's share, we don't have to mention any names, do not have that on their label. So not to buy it. The same thing with whey protein. So if you look at our whey protein, our fortified grass-fed whey protein isolate or our super protein, I always say look for three things on the label. Make sure it says grass-fed, because then it is low in pro-inflammatory omega-6 and high in anti-inflammatory omega-3. So make sure it says grass-fed, non-denatured. That means it hasn't been destroyed with heat and acid, and where the cows come from. So we tell you this is New Zealand grass-fed, and then we have one that's grass-fed whey isolate, either comes from Scotland, Ireland, or America, depending on the batch. So we have to change the label around. So once again, like Dr. Summerton said, it's about educating the public, not, denouncing other brands. All right, phone lines are open, 877-969-8600. Give us a call. No matter how simple or complicated the question is, we will try to answer it to the best of our ability. If we don't know the answer, we won't fake it. We will do the research and get back with you. So 877-969-8600. We are coast to coast, from California over to Florida, up to Pennsylvania and Chicago and everywhere in between. So let's talk a little bit about creatine. All right. First of all, whey protein has all the essential amino acids and the branch chain amino acids, and it does have the three amino acids, arginine, glycine, and methionine, that are all tripled together to make creatine. So your body can form creatine if you're getting enough protein. But it's hard to get the 5 grams of creatine without taking an actual supplement. Creatine is actually on fire. I mean, that was one of our hottest things at all these conferences this last week was our Fortifeye Fit Pro and our Fortifeye Creatine MyH and B Vitamin D. And we've always talked about Creapure creatine as being the best creatine on the market. And it is amazing creatine. And that's what we use. But companies are trying to always take the number one guy down. They really are. And so there's a couple of other companies out here that are not from China that are making creatine and they're coming out. One I'm going to tell you is called Creactin. And there's some interesting studies with Creactin, and it has something called 500 mesh, where other ones are 200 mesh. So 500 mesh, that means that the size of these creatine molecules is much, much smaller than the current one. So the mesh would be 2,500, 500 mesh will be 25 microns versus 75 microns. And what's this mean? It means it mixes faster. It's totally clear in water. There's no sediment, but it's easier on the stomach. Some people that take creatine get bloated, all right? So you don't get any of the bloating, and they claim it's 2.5 times more bioavailable. So Dr. Summerton, the whole goal behind taking supplements like creatine or anything, curcumin, is to try to increase the bioavailability so you absorb and you get the therapeutic benefits. And that's what we're all about, trying to find and research the best supplements that have the best bioavailability. So we've ordered some of these. We're going to have samples, and Dr. Summerton and the staff and we're going to be trying these very soon. But it is exciting to see that the whole nutritional arena is just constantly getting better and better. And we try to stay abreast of those changes, don't we?
We do. And like you mentioned, we do get things like this in our diet. The creatine comes from glycine, arginine, and methionine, which are amino acids that you get by eating meat and eating food. But we look at how much you need to get and do those reliably raise the creatine in the way we want the effect. And there are studies that say we really don't want to just take those three amino acids by itself. It doesn't have the effect that creatine does. So that's why we have to go into the lab to make sure they make a good quality creatine. There are some studies that say, especially with the arginine, if you take that separately, that's what causes those GI effects. We talked about the nitric oxide. It can affect that and lower the blood pressure and also interact with medications. So you don't really want to take that separately. We want to look at that creatine in a safe way, the right dosage, without making sure there's any impurities in there. We want a pure product that's absorbed and has the muscle effect, the brain effect, and even now we're discovering positive bone effects.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk more about that. There's a 12-month clinical study on postmenopausal women and resistance training. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute, but we're getting some more calls. So let's go to the phones. Let's go to Daniel in Kenneth City. Daniel, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Lang, Dr. Summerlin. Good to hear everybody on the radio again. I just got one comment and one question.
Yep.
And my comment is, I want to thank you for saving my career as a professional pilot, because when I saw you and we got sorted out my cataracts and you sent me off to get them done, every day that I wake up now, everything's in focus. I go through the day flying and whatnot, everything's in focus. I go to bed, everything's in focus. I only use the word it's a miracle because I don't have a better word for it. So I want to thank you and the whole gang up there for that.
Amen.
And then my question is, what's the difference between just regular chromium picolinate and GTF, glucose tolerance factor chromium?
Wow. All right. So I'm going to I'm going to talk about that briefly and then let Dr. Summerton chime in a little bit also. So, chromium, I've always used chromium picolinate in our supplements because most of the studies that I'm aware of, the chromium picolinate is great at not only reducing blood sugar, all right, increasing metabolism, helping you to burn fat. And we use that in our new Fit Meal. It's one of our thermogenic fat burners that helps to regulate blood sugar naturally. We've taken a combination of chromium picolinate, Capsamax, which is a derivative of hot sauce, CLA, and what's the other one? CLA, Capsamax, chromium picolinate, and I developed, and I can't think of what the other one is. That's going to drive me absolutely bananas. I will think of it in a minute. Um, Dr. Summerton, you chime in while I think about this.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that form of picolinate as well that they you use for marketing for blood sugar control, cravings, and weight loss. But compared to like chloride, I know that it's absorbed better, and that's why using that form is again, we talk about quality and which form because that's what studies have shown you get the most absorption if you're looking to take it for weight loss or you have diabetes, you want to make sure that you're getting the absorption, but you also have to be careful if you're taking it for blood sugar that it doesn't have any side effects with your glucose lowering medications too.
This is right.
Okay, I appreciate that. I was asking for a friend because they were taking that chromium picolinate and they said it wasn't working for lowering their A1C.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other things. If you know, Daniel, if you'd shoot me an email at idude92 at icloud.com. So EYEDUDE, idude92 at icloud.com, then I can link you up with some studies talking about this in a lot more detail.
Well, I can do that. I'll let somebody else have a crack at the show. Like I said, you and the whole gang up there, you just absolute miracle workers. That's all I can say. And nobody should hesitate about going up there. I'm drive up there from St. Pete, and it's worth it to me.
Well, thank you, Kenneth. Yeah, thank you, Daniel, not Kenneth. Kenneth City, Daniel. I appreciate the call.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. And we appreciate the positive comments. And Dr. Summerton, if you get a chance, if you can pull out a fit meal, it's driving me crazy. I mean, I might not even be able to finish the show. Oh wait, no, he's coming out with it. I think here we go. AJ's got it. Let me see what we got here right in front of me. Oh, we got the nutrient profile. Drum roll, please. So we got, oh yeah, Ceylon cinnamon, of course. Why didn't I remember that? Ah. All right, so Ceylon cinnamon, Capsamax, CLA, and chromium picolinate. That's the 4 fat burners that we have that also can help regulate blood sugar in the Fortifeye Fit Meal. I need to eat a few more Fortifeye Focus and Brains, Dr. Summerton. Losing my memory here.
It's a Saturday morning after a busy week.
And only 2.5 hours of sleep last night. So that's a typical night for me. So, we got to talk about this. Creatine is great for people that are sleep deprived. Isn't that correct?
It is because there has been studies that, especially with jet lag, if to help you recover from that lack of sleep in those situations, if you increase your dosage, normally we recommend about 5 to 8, but if you increase it to about 20, and I would spread it across the course of the day for a couple days after you've had that sleep deprivation, it gives your energy those brain cells that you don't have as much brain fog that you would after you've missed that sleep or have that jet lag.
Yep. So I'm going to take me some more creatine today. You can go to fortifeye.com and we have just the Creapure creatine combined with my H and B and vitamin D. You take a scoop, it's unflavored. You can put it in water and mix it up. My mom puts it in orange juice, shakes it up, and drinks it down. I'm going to have a couple of those today to help with my sleep deprivation. So let's talk a little bit about bone density. There's a 12-month clinical study, like I said, on postmenopausal women recently that were resistant trained. It was placebo controlled, and it showed that women had less bone loss and twice the strength when they took creatine.
Right, and that is particularly important for postmenopausal women when that decline in estrogen is also coincides with about 20% of that bone density. So they looked at these women over the course of the year and they particularly focused on the hip bone loss. And so they actually found out that those women in midlife who took the creatine alongside strength training, so you do have to do the strength training as well, that reduced that hip bone loss for about 70% compared to those who trained without it. So it's just, we still have to do the work. We still have to put some resistance in those bones and those muscles in the form of weight or bands. And then that helps with the in what we call those bone building cells, those osteoblasts. Plus, the creatine helps with your muscles so that you can do those exercises better if you're stronger. And so it's almost a win-win. You get the bone benefits, you get the muscle benefits, and the brain energy benefits by just adding that little bit of creatine into your diet. And we know women too, women have a harder time storing creatine than men. We have less. So it's even more important. You think of creatine as the guys in the gym, but it's actually even more important for women to take it because we don't store it as much and we need it too.
That's absolutely right. So if you get anything from this show today, eat more protein and take a good creatine supplement, preferably at this time, Creapure Creatine, and you can get that at fortifeye.com, Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. Or I'll give you the phone number one time. I'll give it to you slowly for Fortifeye vitamins. You can call it. I think they're answering the phones until 3 today. That's 866-503-9746. One more time, 866-503-9746. Also, so now we can take creatine, right? And exercise. So weightlifting of some sort of resistance training. And think about this. If you do some resistance training, I mean, just 2 times a week, it protects against Alzheimer's, however you say that. And also doing leg presses or squats or lunges, working out your legs, all right? 30 minutes, 3 times a week also reduces Alzheimer's by 47%. So get out, walk a little cardiovascular exercise, do a little resistance training, do some leg presses or some squats, and take your creatine. Great for your muscles, great for your brain, and like we discussed it, great for bone density, and all women need it. Start with 5 grams a day. You will thank me. So check it out. Fortify Creapure Creatine, My H&B Vitamin D at Fortify.com. All right, we're open to the phone lines. If you got a question, give us a call at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Now, since we are eye doctors, we're going to talk a little bit about eye nutrition. So the big three are really dry eye, macular degeneration, and glaucoma. There's a lot of other things that can happen in the eye. And since we just, sponsored the Fortify sponsorship of the chiropractic convention, where we were talking a lot about inflammation with chiropractors, let's talk a little bit about curcumin. Fortify developed something called Next Gen Curcumin. It's fueled by curcugen. Curcugen is the only oleoresin food grade curcumin on the market, so it absorbs very well without any synthetics or without using black pepper extract that can disrupt the mucosal lining of your gut, can interfere with drug absorption, and can cause liver problems. So you don't want to use black pepper extract long periods of time with your curcumin. So curcumin is great for inflammation of the eye. When you think about it, Dr. Summerton, we have all sorts of itises in the eye, retinitis, uveitis, iritis, and also drusen in the macula and dry eye. And curcumin's a supplement that's been shown to possibly be beneficial for all of this.
It is. And like you mentioned, itis, for the listeners out there, any diagnosis that says the word itis, it means you have inflammation somewhere and what they're referring to. And inflammation, we all have it. We get it from really anything. The 2.5 hours of sleep, you're going to have inflammation. You eat processed foods, you're going to have inflammation. You become stressed, you're going to have inflammation. So, our lifestyle is just full of things that trigger inflammation. So, we have to kind of combat it, and we still need to work on doing the right things, getting the rest, the sleep, so that we can help that. But we need that extra boost, and we look for natural things. What can we do to help lower it? And taking that good quality curcumin is we take it orally, we don't put it in our eyes, we take it as a supplement, and that helps those pathways that lower inflammation in your body, whether it is when we look at it, dry eye, ocular surface inflammation, or uveitis, inflammation in the eye. It's just another little thing to add to that whole of what we're doing to control inflammation in the body.
Yep. And we're getting ready to take a call in just a second. So, Paul, just be patient for another 30 seconds. I just want to mention another great nutrient for the eyes is lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. Fortifeye Vitamins was the first in the country to combine all three of those, lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin, years and years ago. And this can help protect against blue light damage to your retina, helps with choroidal blood flow to the eye, and helps with ciliary muscle functioning. So it can protect your eyes and help you focus even better. It's called Fortifeye Focus. And we do have that under the bundle right now where you buy 4 of them and you get a dramatic discount. So check out Fortifeye Focus, go to the bundle section, and we're going back to the phones. Let's go to Paul in the Villages. Paul, good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Dr. Lang. Good morning, Dr. Summerton. You were talking about creatine. I take 5 milligrams of the creatine, CreaPure.
Right.
And I found that if you put it into warm water, liquid, juice, or whatever, not hot, but just warm it up a little bit, the creatine melts. It completely dissolves.
Yep, you're absolutely right. The warmth, and you don't want to get too hot because my mom used to put it in her coffee, but if too hot, it can denature it. But that does, and then it's not as gritty, and it does work very well. Yeah, that's a good tidbit of information, nutritional information. Yes.
Okay, very good. I'll see you in 6 months.
All right, Paul. You take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, we got a lot of great patients. Once again, if you'd like to see Dr. Summerton or myself or any of the doctors at the Lange Eye Institute, remember, we're in the Villages right on County Road 101 and 466. Looks like a big plantation on the Mississippi River. State-of-the-art eye care facility. We've got everything we need. So you can call 352-753-4014. One more time, the phone number for Lange Eye Institute is 352-753-4014. And Dr. Summerton is there. Of course, Dr. Lori Caputi, Dr. Christine Gillikin, and myself, Dr. Michael Lang. So we got 4 of us to take good care of you with a nutritional twist. Dr. Summerton, you're going to have to tell everybody goodbye. Once again, the show went really fast.
Hoping everybody has a great day. We want you to stay strong, stay nourished, take care of both the aging eye and the aging body.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And remember, check out at fortifeye.com the bundles. You got to go to the bundles because $1 saved is $1 gained. Isn't that correct? So go to the bundle section on Fortifeye. It's at the top of the page. And don't forget to go to the blog. I write a lot of articles about nutrition and overall body wellness in the blog section. I'm Dr. Michael Lang, helping keep America fit and healthy. With that, we're out of here. God bless you, and God bless America.
God bless.
Bada bing, bada boom. You know who said that, right? Sure. There's AJ, the man that makes it all happen.